All right, what's going on, everybody? Hello. Hello, and welcome to my final consecutive stream of the streaming week, which I know is weird because typically that would not be the case. Um, as you know, typically I would actually be streaming tomorrow as well, but this is a special week. You know, it's the end of the year, it's a holiday week. Things are a little bit different this week than usual, and I hope that you guys will remember that and not come by tomorrow looking for streams, all right? So, today is Sunday, the 29th of December, 2019. We are almost the end of the year, the end of the decade, and the start of a brand new slew of fun stuff along the way. Renewal right around the corner, as they say, right? A new year, new me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. New me, baby. So, let's talk, guys, about what we're doing today. Today should be pretty fun. Today should be pretty interesting and pretty chill. All right. What are we doing today? Today we are continuing on with the Shenmue III playthrough, which up to this point has been, in my opinion, very relaxing. In some cases, rage-inducing when it comes to the combat. Otherwise, pretty much just, pretty chill. Open world exploration, talking with a bunch of people, figuring out where to go, investigating different things going on in the city. At this point, where are we in Shenmue 3? We're still investigating this gang called the Red Snakes, who apparently kidnapped Shenhua's father, and we are trying to get more information on where they are. We've been running like a wild goose chase throughout the city, and everywhere we go, they say, oh, they're somewhere else, they're somewhere else. And now we're being told they're at the gambling parlor, even though we've already been to the gambling parlor and they weren't there. Now apparently they are. I don't know. Other things we've been doing is getting all the Chubu hidden little chick figurines, but we've already completed that. Unless there's a whole new area of the game that we haven't been to yet, we've pretty much done that in every building now. We play a little bit of the gacha games. The gacha games are those little redemption vending games where you spend like a quarter or whatever and you get a little random plastic figurine, and if you get the entire set including the rare one, you could trade those in for skill books and the like. So we're doing some of that as well, and while I do it, we just kind of chill and hang out and talk a little bit, which has been fun. You know, doing that has been pretty fun. So it's been interesting. Today we're going to do a mix of that. We're probably going to finish up a gacha game that I was doing at the very end of the last stream, and then head over to the gambling parlor and see where the plot takes us at this point. Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, we'll see what happens. We'll go from there. And, hold on a second here. We'll go from there, and we'll enjoy the stream. We'll have a good time together. All right, I hope you guys are ready for a fun, chill stream. I know I am. 4 hours of Shenmue 3 progress. Some people love it, some people hate it. So it all depends. We'll see what you guys think. So yeah, that's coming up right now, and then later tonight, on the late stream, we're going to do the very first actual stream, meaning a dedicated stream, for Myst. Yes, Myst, the game that I played during the Christmas marathon. I found it very entertaining and fun. I was intrigued by Myst in a lot of ways. I thought that it was quite interesting. And so we're going to be checking out Myst again tonight for 2 hours. Now, Myst is a very cryptic game. It's a game that is going to take a lot of not only thinking, but if I can't figure puzzles out, help from the stream viewers. Okay, just being very honest here. I know it's not going to be an easy game to figure out. So hopefully, you guys will help me out with that tonight, and we'll be able to enjoy Myst for 2 hours. If I get stuck on a puzzle, I don't want to have to stop to look it up. You know what I mean? But people have been asking me to play Myst all week since I did the Christmas marathon last week, and I said, gee, I hope this will one day be a full playthrough. Well, I'm actually going to give it a shot tonight, okay? And we'll see how it goes. So, Myst tonight. 2 hours of chill fun with puzzles and exploration and all that stuff, okay? Then tomorrow I'm off. Like I said, I know that's different than usual. Typically I would be here on Mondays, but because Tuesday is New Year's Eve, I've changed my day off this week. Reason being, last week I had Christmas Eve off, and oh my god, it was hectic as shit. There were so many people out getting last minute shopping and Christmas presents. It was just driving around constantly, doing a lot of crap. Quite frankly, it was a good day out with my wife, but we really were like, man, next day off, we need to not be doing this, you know. So we changed our day off this week to be Monday rather than Tuesday, so that way it's not Christmas Eve, excuse me, New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, typically a lot of places like stores and restaurants are closed early anyway. So we were like, man, it would be even worse if we went out New Year's Eve. So we're not going to. We're doing tomorrow, okay? Now, later on this week, we've got a wide variety of stuff on my streams. So allow me to explain a little bit, guys, so you guys know what to expect in the coming week. So Tuesday, New Year's Eve, the final major stream of 2019 is going to be Minecraft, which is kind of appropriate because it's going to be a chill stream where we just kind of hang out and maybe reminisce on the end of the year, talk about all the things that happened this year, things we're looking forward to in the future. You know, pretty good. It should be a good stream. And keep in mind, during that stream, I'm going to attempt to finish up the bird statue that I've been working on for quite some time. And then hopefully do some open world exploration. Okay, so a major Minecraft stream on Tuesday. And then the final stream of 2019, ladies and gentlemen. What's it going to be? I'll tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be Roblox. What the? Yeah, I know. So Roblox is another game that I tried during the Christmas marathon, and my God, it was completely random. It was chaotic. It was just really weird, okay? And, you know, some people liked it. Some people thought it was just freaking, you know, so odd that they were like, it was fun to watch me play these random-ass games, you know? And I agree. Like, I actually think that the Roblox stuff that I did during the Christmas marathon was quite entertaining because it was so goddamn randomized and just chaotic. So, what I've got is this time around, I got some suggestions on games to check out in Roblox. I had someone who actually sent me a nice list of games to check out, and I'm sure that people will also be suggesting games during the course of this stream on Tuesday night. So, we're going to see what happens. All right, we're going to see. It could be great. It could be terrible. I don't know how it's going to go, quite frankly. I think it could go either way. All right, depending on how stuff happens here. So we're just going to play it by ear. We're going to try it. 2 hours of Roblox Tuesday night. If it ends up being entertaining and fun, then maybe I would consider going back to it from time to time to check out what things are available in the world of Roblox. If it's complete trash and it's a, you know, a dumpster fire, we don't have to do it again. All right, but I figured, hey, why not reach out? Why not branch out? Try some different things. Venture out and see if there's, you know, different content for my viewing audience works or not. Okay, so we'll look into that. You know, we'll see how that is Tuesday night, and that's the final stream of 2019. All right, then on Wednesday, for the beginning of 2020, the first major stream of 2020 will be Pokemon Sword. And the reason this is going to be exciting is because I'm finishing up the story. We're actually in the final tournament right now of Pokemon Sword. Yeah, we're in the final leg of the tournament where we're facing off against you know, the final challengers, and then Leon, who is the head of the league or whatever, the big champion, and then whatever happens in the story after that, because I get the feeling more is going to happen in the story after the big champion battle, okay? So that's going to be the start of the stream on Wednesday, and then after that, it unlocks the post-game content, supposedly, of the game, the post-game questing, the ability to catch the rarest Pokemon in the game, and we're going to be focusing in on that. So, great Pokemon stream coming up on Wednesday, okay? Wednesday night, I'm going to attempt to do some PUBG. I don't know if it's going to work or not. When I played it last week, it was pretty boring, quite frankly, although it was funny because it was actually lots of fun interaction where we had good conversation. The game itself sucked. So, we'll see how that goes on Wednesday night, PUBG, okay? Thursday, I switch over to continuing on with my major playthroughs, of course. So, more Final Fantasy VI this coming Thursday. And Thursday night, I can't exactly remember what I even scheduled in for Thursday night. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, and I can't really remember. I guess I could look it up here in a second. Hold on. Let's see. What did I schedule Thursday night? Let's see. Oh, I said more Myst. There you go. So if Myst is successful tonight, and if you guys like it, and it does well as a late stream, then I'll consider doing another session of Myst on Thursday night. Okay? Then on Friday, we'll do more Shenmue 3, and then it'll be quite possibly the final throwback Fight Night Fridays ever. And the reason I say that is because last week when I played Street Fighter on Friday, it didn't go so well. It ended up being kind of boring and frustrating because we couldn't find opponents. The opponents we found, some of them were trolling, and some of them just had awful connections to the point where it wasn't very fun to play anymore. Which sucks because I've had a lot of great experiences playing Street Fighter over the last month and a half or whatever. And it's kind of sucky that this last session was so bad. We're going to see what happens again this Friday. And if it ends up being kind of shitty, then that's probably going to be the last hurrah for my Friday night Street Fighter stuff. You know, it just sucks, but that's reality. Is if you can't get good matches, why are you wasting time on it, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens this Friday. And then this weekend, it's going to be a mix of course, all of my ongoing playthroughs, but also it's going to be my year-end series. So what are my year-end series? You've got the best games of 2019 Countdown, as well as the most disappointing games of 2019 Countdown. Now, I'll be very honest with you. There's going to be way more disappointing games than best games because 2019 overall, in my opinion, was an actual very disappointing year for games. Most of the games that came out that were hyped ended up being completely underwhelming and not very great. They did not live up to expectations of what we were all promised. And in reality, some of the best games of the year were very surprising. Games that you didn't really think were going to be good or you never heard of, and then they end up being the best games of the year. So, pretty interesting. The countdowns this year definitely are going to be quite interesting. So I hope you will join me for that on this weekend. So I don't have that set in stone yet, what's going on, what day or whatever, but definitely Saturday and Sunday, that's going down this coming weekend. Okay, guys? Good stuff? All right. Hopefully that sounds good to you. Now, in addition to all of that, tonight, folks, the process begins by which you can nominate games for the upcoming Viewers' Choice event. And you might say, what Viewers' Choice event? Well, what's going to happen is you guys are going to begin nominating games. It's going to last probably about a week to a week and a half, all right? And then those games are going to be made into a poll. And then you guys are going to vote on those games. And whatever game ends up winning the poll will be a full Viewers' Choice playthrough that I'll be doing on the streams. More than likely starting sometime later this month, or excuse me, later in the month in January, maybe like the second half or late January, because that'll give some people time to nominate and vote, okay? Yeah, I haven't done a Viewer's Choice game in quite some time, but the Viewer's Choice games over the years have been quite good and quite interesting. You know, franchises like Simpsons Hit and Run, Spyro the Dragon, Danganronpa, Persona, just to name a few. You know, there's been a wide variety of games that have become Viewer's Choice playthroughs over the years that have turned out to be quite entertaining and fun. And I really like doing Viewer's Choice stuff with you guys. I do. So I'm very excited to see what you guys are going to nominate for the upcoming Viewer's Choice. You know, so many games have been asked for recently. Will you play this game? Will you play that game? You know, yeah, this is the opportunity to nominate those games and try to convince others to nominate those games so it'll make it to the final poll for Viewer's Choice. Okay? So, yeah, good stuff coming up. Starting tonight, I will let you guys know on Twitter, and I will post up the link on Twitter. Of course, my Twitter is @TheyCallMeDSP. Once that's live later tonight, so that you can begin to nominate games. Very excited to see what games you guys nominate for the final poll. Okay? All right. That pretty much covers everything I needed to talk about today. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else to really discuss. I don't think so. Right? Yeah, I don't think there's any other business to really bring up here. I think I've covered all the stuff going on. Okay. So let's continue, shall we? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next segment of my stream is the gratuitous plugs, where basically I tell you ways that you can be supportive on the stream. Okay? Please bear with me, as you know. Since this is both my hobby and my livelihood, my job, I have to do advertisement. It sucks, but it is what it is. Okay? So today should be a very fun and chill stream, everyone. I hope you guys are ready for a more relaxing stream. Definitely not going to be tons of rage or you know, major stuff going on. As you know, Shenmue is pretty much a chill game. It really is. So I'll be ready for a lot of interaction and fun today. Okay? I've been a content creator for 11 years, and I absolutely love what I do for a living. I realize how lucky I am to be able to share my hobby as my job. Not many people can say that, right? And I understand that, and I'm incredibly grateful that on a daily basis, I'm able to hang out with you guys. I'm able to have a good time, sharing gameplay experiences, and just in general having fun with games while you know we're all interacting and having good streams together. Right? I love this. Certainly, the ride of being a content creator for 11 years has not been a smooth one. I used to be a full-time YouTuber. That fell apart several years ago when YouTube basically it is not viable anymore for someone like me to make a living, and I became a full-time streamer. What that means is it's no longer the days of making ad revenue on YouTube to make a living. I am pretty much solely dependent on crowdfunding here on the streams in order to pay my bills, including the cost of games, the cost of electricity, the cost of internet, paying taxes behind the scenes, healthcare, all those things, okay? So, it is your contributions during the streams that very matter-of-factly keep me going. And I'm very appreciative of those of you who do contribute during the streams. I'm about to outline many ways that you can contribute if you enjoy the fact that I'm here 6 days a week full-time putting out gameplay content for you. And if you enjoy the fact that I still upload the archived streams over on YouTube on DSPGaming, so that if you cannot be here for the live streams, you can get caught up on all that content. And you just like everything I do in general, and you want to see it continue, and you want to help out with that, you can contribute in one of the following ways, all right, that I'm about to outline. But before I even talk about one of those ways, what I want to say up front is this, okay? Please understand that your contributions are greatly appreciated, but not mandatory, all right? And I don't want anyone to feel that they come to stream and they're obligated to contribute in any way. This is a place where you can hang out and have fun, interact with me, see my honest reactions to games, and I want you to feel that that's the whole point, because it is. I made YouTube videos of my gameplay for 2.5 years before I ever made any money doing it, and I would continue to stream, even if I couldn't make a living doing this. It's my passion. Gaming is what I grew up doing. It's my hobby. It's everything that I love. And I don't do it just for the sake of making a buck. I do it because I love hanging out with you guys and playing games and having fun with them. And I would keep doing it, okay? So that being said, thank you to anyone who does contribute, but please don't feel obligated that you have to. Okay, that's the whole point I'm trying to make here. So, let's now talk a little bit about the ways that you can contribute, shall we? So, if you're here on the live stream, you probably heard me mention certain things before, like Patreon at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. That's my monthly pledge campaign. If you pledge, you earn personal perks based on the level of contribution that you make. And in particular, with this year and month coming to a close, later on this week, those who pledged in the month of December, I'll be messaging them on patreon.com to thank them for their contributions and let them know what perks they qualify for, okay? So please give it a look. All the details are listed there at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. I don't have to go into massive detail about it because it's all listed there publicly. Okay? Alrighty then. Also, I have a Teespring store where I sell all kinds of fun stuff, in particular t-shirts, although there is other stuff there like sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, and mugs. Today I'm actually wearing one of my shirts. I do this from time to time on stream. Hold on a second here. I do this from time to time on stream. I actually wear one of my Teespring shirts. Today I'm wearing the manga DSP shirt, okay? I like to wear this sometimes when I play more Japanese-centric cultural games based around Japan and stuff like that. But there's many more shirts available there as well, many more designs. Anything you buy from my Teespring store, you get a cool quality collectible, and it helps me out a little bit. So thanks to anyone who does, all right? But in general, if you're here on the stream live, you probably want to contribute in a way that's going to get you some recognition. And that's understandable, right? So if you either cheer with bits, or you subscribe to the channel, or you tip me, any of those three things, you'll be able to get a live shout out here on the stream, all right? As a way to say thank you. So please consider it, okay? If you are the top cheerer or top tipper of the day, I'll put you up on the leaderboard at the top of the screen. As you can see, we have a stream stats leaderboard there. And then we also have a running leaderboard that is integrated into Twitch that tracks top cheerer of the week, as well as the top sub gifters of the week, people who gift subscriptions to other viewers. I will actually review that information in just a moment. And in fact, today is Sunday, which means this is actually the final day of the week that's in effect. That will reset overnight to go back to 0. And on Monday, it's a fresh leaderboard. So if you want to be known as one of the top contributors of the week, you have to contribute today via cheering or sub gifting, because it will reset overnight for the new week. Okay? All right. Now, out of all the things I just mentioned, they're all amazing ways to contribute, and I'm grateful for every single one of them. Thank you anyone in advance who's even thinking of contributing today. Very matter-of-factly, the best way to contribute would be by tipping me, because tips I can use right away. I can put towards bills. Tomorrow when I go grocery shopping, I buy groceries with tips. I'm serious. Like, all the stuff that I usually spend money on is usually based off of tips. Today in particular, guys, again, I'm going to ask if you could tip me, please do. Reason being, past couple of days, tips have been pretty slow, or at least yesterday tips were very slow. And I got my day off tomorrow, which is actually earlier than usual. So, it's kind of tight right now. If you tip me today, it helps me out more than anything else. If you are considering contributing today and you can tip me, please do. I really need the tip support today so that I can actually, afford to actually do my errands and stuff tomorrow. Okay? So how do you tip me? A couple ways that you can do it. Below the stream, there's a tips jar button you can click on, or you can type !tip into the stream chat, and that will bring up a tips link to my PayPal page. All right? A couple things to know about tipping me. First of all, you don't need to use a PayPal account that's linked to a bank account in order to tip me. Even though it seems like they may be alluding to that when you're on the PayPal page, there should also be options to tip me via a credit card, meaning debit card or a credit card like MasterCard, Visa, American Express, etc. All are accepted. Now, if you don't see the option to do so on that PayPal page, it's probably because you're watching via a mobile device. A lot of people watch streams via their phones, etc. Sometimes that does not load properly on a phone. Okay, and I know that's frustrating because you might be watching like, I want to contribute, I can't. Well, I'm sorry about that, but if you go to a desktop computer and you load the PayPal page, it usually will show all the proper options for contributions. I think there might be a way to do it in a mobile browser as well. I guess that's more dependent on your phone. Like I said, load the full desktop version of the page or whatever, right? I'm pretty sure you can do that. But, yeah, so the option does exist. It may not be apparent, but it does exist. You can tip me without a registered PayPal account. In addition, I say this on every stream. I'm going to say it again. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you're considering contributing to anyone on a live stream on the internet, please do your best to protect your identity. What I mean by that is a lot of people will contribute, but then they end up using their real name. They end up using a name that's linked to their social media accounts, which they have things like their Facebook and their Twitter associated with. And in this modern era, a lot of people just tend to put a lot of personal information on the internet thinking, oh, I'm Joe Nobody. This is no big deal. I can put all this stuff on the internet and no one's ever going to do anything to me because, no one knows who I am. And, who's going to come after me for anything, right? Why would they do that? Well, the answer to that is they'll do it just because they can. They're not doing it because there's a purpose behind it. They're not doing it because they get anything out of it. They're doing it just because they can mess with you. There's people out there who, they have no lives. They have no positivity in their lives. And the fact that they can hurt someone anonymously over the internet is just enough for them to do it. They don't have to know you. They don't have to have a vendetta against you. They could just, I could get away with this. Then I'm just going to do it. I know that sounds messed up, but it's just very true. Trust me, from someone who's been affected by this kind of crap over the years, it's pretty messed up that it happens, but it does, Oh my God, this guy contributed during a stream. Now I'm just going to harass him online. I'm going to, expose his social media accounts and harass him on his Facebook. And, oh my God, the other thing is a lot of people link that stuff. Like, on my Facebook, I got all my family members and everything. Oh my God. See what I mean? It's just like a big can of worms being opened. So if you are going to contribute to anything on the internet, try to do it anonymously. For example, if you're going to tip me today, you could tip me anonymously. Just say anonymous. No one will know it's you. There's no risk to you whatsoever because you didn't put any of your information out there on the internet, right? Or in addition to that, you can make a name up. If you're going to tip me, you can literally just make a name up out of thin air. No one's going to be able to associate that with you because how are they going to associate a random name, right, to you doing a contribution on the internet? They can't. Okay? So just some suggestions throwing out there. I'm looking out for you guys. I'm trying to protect you from, online harassment. I certainly don't want any of my followers to be harassed because they contribute on a stream or anything like that, all right? So thank you, and please be careful. All right. Very nice. Now, moving on. Let's now talk about the rules, okay? On my stream, I follow certain criteria and certain sets of rules to maintain a certain vibe. First of all, I have to follow all the rules of Twitch.tv. I'm broadcasting on their business. Therefore, I can't just say and do whatever I want. I have to do, what's in line with what they expect on their stream service. Okay. Now, in addition to that, I have my own rules and my own code of conduct that I like to follow. Okay. And here's my mentality as a streamer. I like to think that people come to my streams to escape the stresses and the drama of their everyday lives, okay? And what I mean by that is when you come by my streams, I want you to have a more relaxed atmosphere. I want you to say, oh man, you look at this. I can kind of forget about all the crap going on in my daily life, and I can come watch Phil play a game, interact with Phil and other people on the stream, have some fun, in general, have a good time, and have some laughs, right? And that's the whole deal. Decompressing and having a good time. I don't want you to come on my stream and be inundated with drama and toxicity and all kinds of negative stuff, okay? And that's why we maintain a certain set of rules so that those things don't happen, all right? The first thing is, there's a couple topics that I found in my 11 years as a content creator that sadly just get people all worked up, get people argumentative with each other, like basically people can't get along when they talk about these topics. These topics are politics and religion. It just seems to me like if someone disagrees on those topics, people can't really look from another person's perspective or put themselves in another person's set of shoes, but instead, they just get very angry that someone doesn't agree with them. And in general, I don't think that those topics fit my kind of content anyway. If I'm here playing a game, wow, if I was playing Shenmue, oh man, he found out that the red snakes are down here at the docks or something, and he's going down. I wonder what people have to say. Oh, look, they're arguing about Donald Trump. Like, see what I mean? What the hell is that? We don't need that on my streams, okay? And that's why I don't allow those open topics of discussion unless they are framed up against the discussion of a game. For example, I'm currently playing Final Fantasy VI, which has a lot of political discussion to have because there's an evil empire who's kind of residing over everything, and there's a group of rebels called the Returners who are trying to rebel against that government. That's different, okay? Talking about government, politics, in regards to that, that's fine. But in general, just derailing the stream, bringing up topics that have nothing to do with the games, not allowed, okay? So just throwing that out there ahead of time so you guys understand that. The other thing is, I am well aware that there are people on the internet who, on a daily basis, are basically slandering me. They're doing everything they can to make me look bad through half-truths, lies, and stealing my content so that they can get ahead. They want clickbait views on YouTube. They want to make ad revenue. They want to have people donate to their garbage, toxic content. They all hide out on YouTube because YouTube allows this to exist. They notice they're not on Twitch because Twitch does not allow that kind of garbage content to exist. They don't want their business to be full of a bunch of drama queen assholes, basically. But YouTube allows it. So, I'm well aware these people exist, and on a daily basis, they're trying to stir up drama, even though there's no drama to be had. If you just watch my streams, you realize there's nothing going on here. There's no drama on my streams. It's fun. It's fun, interactive stuff. So, we don't bring that stuff up because if you do, you're basically giving those people exactly what they want, attention, right? If you bring, oh, this person's restreaming you, oh, this person said this about you, this person made a video of drama and blah, 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 completely and utterly against the rules, 100%, okay? And already I had to moderate some people earlier today on the stream chat who just tried to derail. I'm like, guys, it's against the rules, stop. And they keep it up, so I said, okay, you're gone. I'm sorry, that's just the rules. We're not going to have my stream completely toxified by a bunch of stupid shit that has nothing to do with it. If we just ignore it, we can have a fun time and have a good day, enjoying positive interactions and fun gameplay and not worrying about the nonsense, okay? And that's the truth. I just don't want to be bothered by their fucking nonsense. So that's why we don't bring it up. Okay, guys? I only bring it up on the pre-stream so you guys understand the rule, and then we move on. Fair enough? Fair enough. Okay, good stuff. All right, guys. So now we move on to the third and final segment of the pre-stream. This is the segment where I give shout-outs for your contributions. We update the leaderboards. We get everything going here, okay? So the first thing I actually want to do, because this is kind of weird, but I actually want to check sub count. And the reason why I want to is because when I started the stream, my stream said that the sub count was a certain thing, but now I'm checking it, and I think it's weird because it didn't show that I got a lot of subs on the stream, but it said the sub count went up. Let me check this. Sub count. Yeah, I didn't notice a single new sub, but apparently there are. I don't know. I just don't get it. Sometimes I think what it is, people sub behind the scenes, and then the sub count jumps. but they don't click the button that's the shout out for the sub or whatever. Because some days it'll say I have a certain amount when I start, and then when I actually go to start streaming, it's like, oh, they went up. Okay. Well, whatever. It went up. That's good. So we're at 627 subs, guys. So, first of all, thank you to Overnight, an anonymous cheerer who did a 51-bit cheer. Whoever you may be, I appreciate your support. Thank you very much to the anonymous cheerer. Longtime DSP fan. Took me $1.02 and says, you know, we hear the same pre-stream messages every day. Well, we can remember that. You don't have to basically repeat it every day. Well, you're right. For people who are regulars and people who are here every single day, you guys pretty much hear the same spiel, right? On the pre-stream every day. And so you might maybe, oh, man, it's the same thing. I hear you. But you guys are the long-term viewers. You have to understand that every day we probably got a handful of viewers who come in who maybe aren't around and don't understand the rules, don't understand how the things work around here. Let's face it, I do things my own way. I definitely don't do things exactly the same as everybody else. And it's good for people to know, especially with some of the rules that we have in place. It's good for people to know what's going on with that stuff so that they don't accidentally get moderated or whatever, right? In addition to that, I like doing the pre-stream because, as you know, it gives me opportunity to interact with you guys before the stream starts. I get to talk with you. We get to hang out and have some fun. And then once the gameplay starts, I can actually focus in on the gameplay when it starts. Instead of some streamers, they just turn the stream on. Immediately they're in the game, but then they have to respond to people for the first 20 minutes of their stream, if not longer, because it's like, oh, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah. Next thing you know, they're not focused on the game. You know, people like to watch me play for multiple reasons. Some people watch just for the gameplay. They want to see the gameplay and see how I react to a game. Some people watch just for the interactivity. They like me as a person. They want to hang out with me and have a good time and maybe have a few chill moments talking or whatever. Some people tune in for both. You know, everyone's here for a different reason. That's why I like being a variety streamer, is that every day you could kind of tune in and get a different kind of vibe depending on what kind of game I'm playing. Some games have more interactivity. Some games have less interactivity, right? So it's all different every day. That's a good thing. But you have to understand that I'm not like other streamers who just jump right in and now, oh, the first hour of my stream is me just talking with viewers and no progress in the game. It's basically white noise, right? That's not how I am. You know, I want to have that game going on. I would say the only exception is PUBG and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to care about that kind of a game. And so in reality, when I play a game like PUBG, it's more about me interacting with you guys anyway. The game is the white noise in that case, right? So, there are some exceptions. But in general, like Shenmue 3 today, I'm probably going to do some gacha stuff. I'll open up some of the toys, and I'll talk with you guys for a little bit while I'm doing that. But then we're off to the casino to see what's going on with the plot of the game, and then we got to focus on the game for a bit. If I'm talking with you guys for an hour to address what you guys are talking about and give shout-outs and stuff, we're not going to be focused on the game, see? Trust me, I've been doing this for a long time. I've kind of settled into the formula that works, all right? I wouldn't be doing this if the formula didn't work. I adjusted things many times over the years to make sure that things worked out well, and people seem to like this. The other thing is, you know, as I've told you guys, I give shout-outs for all the contributions that come in that aren't, you know, trolling insult stuff. So if I just, for the first hour, shout out, right, then what's the point of even turning the game on? I'd rather, again, focus on the game when we start off. Now, some people will say, well, don't give the shout-outs then. Well, then what's the point? You know, that's messed up. I'm supposed to be an interactive streamer. You guys tell me you want the interactivity. I do the interactivity, you complain. See what I mean? So it's a lose-lose situation. There's no perfect balance. Some people want one thing, other people want other thing. You know what I mean? Like, you can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please everyone all the time. You see what I mean? But, hey, what I do works. People in general like it. I even record the pre-stream as a separate video from the gameplay stream. So people who want to watch this portion of the stream that's very different from the gameplay can get caught up. And that way it doesn't affect the gameplay overall. All right? So, FYI, sorry if it's not your cup of tea, but it works for me and my purposes, and that's why I do stuff this way. Fair enough? Okay. All right, PW Dubs took me $1.03. He said, I wanted to know, are Calzones pizza? No. No. All right. So I guess some people are confused about what a calzone is. So obviously everyone knows what pizza is. You know, flat dough that has sauce, cheese, and other various toppings added to it. Now, there's many different kinds of pizza, many different kinds of pizza dough. You know, all variations. Everyone calls them legitimate pizza or whatever. Okay? In regards to calzone, what a calzone is, it is dough similar to pizza dough. But what it is kind of like a compartment. It's like, how can I even describe it? Because it's really not like a, okay, you guys know what a croissant looks like, right? So imagine a croissant that's not curved but kind of straight, very large, okay? A large, large ass croissant, I guess. Gee, it's very hard to describe this without seeing it. Once you see it, you're like, okay, I get it. But it's very hard to describe this without seeing it. Man. So yeah, I guess I would say it's like, think of a giant doughy croissant, but it's filled with things. It's filled with cheese, it's filled with meat, and it's filled with seasonings. All right? So all the ingredients you would think of on a pizza, you could have meat, you could have vegetables, you could have cheese, you can have, any of that stuff, but inside something that's baked in an oven. And then what you do is you cut it open with like a fork and knife, or you can tear it open with your hand, and you can eat pieces of it like that. It's very good. I've had calzone a couple of times. Not too much. I prefer pizza, but some people prefer calzones. My mom actually really likes calzones, because she likes to get certain ingredients in it that are really good baked, like broccoli and stuff. She likes to get in a calzone. Yeah, it's different from pizza for sure. It's definitely different from pizza, because of the way that it's presented. Although it very similar to pizza. There's no crust. Like on pizza, you get a hard crust. It's not like that. It's got an outer shell of dough that's a little bit harder, but it's not like hard, crusty like pizza or anything like that. And it's, the dough itself can end up being nice and fluffy after baked in the oven. It's pretty good. But anyway, no, a calzone is not a pizza. It's a completely different presentation of Italian food. So there you go. Thank you, P-Dubs, and that's another $1 tip. In fact, you're the top tipper of the day so far. Well, actually, you were, but someone actually just topped you. It's a longtime DSP fan 2. What the hell? Someone named longtime DSP fan 2. Okay. Just did a $5 tip. Let me go and read what they said here. Hold on. Let me get them up on the leaderboard first. And so that would be $6 more in tips. Get this up to 7 to start. They said, that feeling when pre-stream interactivity goes 90 minutes long, any chance we can get that up to 2 hours. So some people are critical of the fact that the pre-streams sometimes are pretty long. But in general, if you look at my pre-streams, they're long for a reason. So just take a look at today's pre-stream. I was actually done talking about all the topics that I had to discuss within about 20 to 25 minutes. But then we get to the section, that's the interactivity and the shout-outs for contributions. And that's the section that could end up being pretty lengthy, all right? Again, if you want me to be an interactive streamer, which it seems you guys absolutely love, and I have loved adapting to be an interactive streamer, you got to put up with the interactivity, And so if people keep contributing and talking and asking questions and we have good conversation, it's going to continue and the pre-stream is going to be long. If, it's not so much, then it's not so much and we get the gameplay right away. It all depends on how the day is, right? As I've told you guys, I'm incredibly grateful for all contributions that come in. I'm incredibly grateful for the fact that you guys support me. And so I'm going to give shout outs for all the contributions that come in. I'm not going to gloss over them and be a jerk and say, I want to get to gameplay, so I'm just going to skip all this. No, I'm not going to do that. That's messed up, right? Now, I think the longest pre-stream I ever had was about, I want to say, once I started talking, it was probably about 90 minutes, okay? And the reason was, again, there was like an hour-long segment where I just kept talking with you guys and answering questions and the like, and it just went on and on and on. I don't control that, I know. At one point, I guess I could put my foot down and say, okay, we're starting gameplay, and I'll do shout-outs during the gameplay or whatever. But in general, you guys have kind of told me that you really enjoy what I do, the way that I do it. You like the interactivity at the beginning of streams. You like that I focus on games when the game gets booted. So I don't know why I would change that up. Yes, every once in a while we get a few people who complain. But overwhelmingly, it's positivity that I get. And people have told me that they like the streams way better ever since I became interactive. So why would I change this, right? No, I'm not going to try to go for a 2-hour pre-stream. I'm not aiming for a lengthy pre-stream. I don't even look at the length until you guys criticize it and say it's too long, and then I look to see how long the pre-stream went. For me, it's just naturally fun conversation that we have. So, okay. So anyway, thank you for that $5 tip, longtime DSP fan 2. Now, PW Dubs just did $4 tips. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read out all of his questions, answer them, and then I'm just going to, in general, update the leaderboard. Okay, so first question, do you like it when Domino's improved their recipe on their pizza? No. First of all, I didn't like Domino's to begin with. When they improved their recipe, all they did is they claimed that they're making hand-tossed pizza. All right? That doesn't mean it's good. That actually means that they just changed their recipe up to be something different and equally bad. And that's what I felt like, oh, it's a hand-tossed pizza, but I don't think it tasted any better than what they previously were putting out. So, then he says, have you ever had a doughless pizza with sauce and cheese? That's impossible, and that's a stupid question, and you know that. Then he asks, do you like pizza that's already sliced? In general, you want pizza that's already sliced, because if someone slices the pizza when it's warm, okay, then that pizza will be easy to tear apart. If you wait for the pizza to get cold before you cut it, or it gets colder before you cut it, that dough is already solidified fully. And once the dough is solidified fully, it's much harder to cut through it easily with a pizza cutter. You want to get on that pizza while it's warm. So yeah, pre-sliced pizza, obviously a lot better than, oh God, this pizza's not cut, and I have to sit here trying to cut it open with my own pizza cutter. Last question, he says, what's the worst pizza you've ever had? Oh man, now this is going to be a tough one, honestly. The worst pizza I've ever had in my life. Man. I really got to think back. Because certainly I've had some bad pizza. There's some places that claim you're eating pizza. Like, how can you even call this pizza? Like, how does this even qualify as pizza? Basically any pizza that's not on a doughy kind of consistency, like a cracker crust, I hate that. How can you tell me that something that's on a crispy cracker is a pizza? I don't consider that pizza. So I couldn't necessarily tell you 100% where I've had that kind of pizza, but I definitely have, and I hate that. I think that that's like not real pizza. Certainly, if you guys watched my DSP Tries It series over the years, you've seen some really disgusting pizzas that I've eaten. But I would probably say one of the absolute worst was the Pools of Cheese pizza from Pizza Hut. This is when they had these giant compartments of coagulated cheese sitting in the crust. And what happens is grease will pool in there on top of the cheese. So not only are you eating pure fatty dairy cheese, but then you've got coagulated grease that you're eating on top of that. It's just really disgusting. That pizza was fucking gross. And I definitely did not finish it. I thought it was nasty. I had like maybe 2 pieces. I was like, okay, that's enough for me. Also, some pizza gets way worse when it's leftovers. And in particular, the pizza that I feel is the absolute worst when it's leftovers is Pizza Hut pizza. Pizza Hut pizza is bad when it's fresh, but it's atrociously bad when you save it and you try to warm it up later. The crust becomes like a rock. It does. Like, the crust becomes rock hard. It's super, even if you try to heat it, it's like biting into like a stick. And what happens is the actual, the center part, not the crust, but the actual regular part of the pizza becomes brittle. And it's just gross. If anything, it's like, why is this pizza so bad left over? And it's weird because fresh pizza, when you have it left over, usually is pretty good. Like, I've told you guys many times that pizzeria that I used to go to in back in Connecticut, Vinny's Pizza, you could warm that pizza up for 3 straight days, and it's still amazing after you warm it up. It's good. It's crispy. It's tasty. It's, everything about it is just great. And then you go and you get Pizza Hut pizza, and you're like, why is this so disgusting? So I would say Pizza Hut pizza in general is the one that I hate the most, which is weird because I used to like it that they changed their recipe. And now I think it's the worst fast food pizza you can possibly buy. I really feel that way. Okay? All right, so that's $4 in tips from PW Dubs. Let's go ahead and get that on the leaderboard. There we go. Good Game Goblin tipped me $1. And he says, how's it going, Phil? Does Jasper pee outside his litter box? I think my cat has learned that she gets attention by pissing on the mat outside her box and driving me nuts. Not a single time. Jasper, ever since the day that we rescued him, has been very well behaved when it comes to using the potty. He goes into his litter box for everything. Never have we had a single issue with him going outside the box at all. Every once in a while he coughs up a hairball or something like that. Not much you can do about that. But no, in general, he is very well behaved in that regard. Even when he's acting up and he's trying to get attention, he never does anything like that, which is very nice. That's why we love him so much, because he is a well-behaved cat. In general, does he cause mischief? Yes. But he's not trying to be malicious. You know what I mean? So, there you go. Thank you for the tip, Good Game Goblin. PW Dubs to me another dollar and asked yet another pizza-related question. Okay, so let me go ahead and update the leaderboard again. So PW Dubs asks, what's the biggest pizza you've ever eaten alone? Man, the biggest pizza I've ever eaten alone. Well, in general, I almost never eat pizza alone. What I would say is, okay, all right, I have an honest answer for this. I'm thinking about it now. The longest I've ever... I don't think it's a matter of the biggest pizza. It's how much, okay? Because, for example, I used to go out, again, with my parents once a week when I lived in Connecticut, and we'd go to dinner, and if we went to Vinny's Pizza, I'd keep the leftover pizza, and I would eat that as food over the next week. I'd have it 2-3 times that week. So you might say, oh, well, that pizza, you know, we all shared it, but then I ended up eating more than half of it myself, but it was over the course of a week. It wasn't like I sat there and wolfed down the pizza in one sitting. I would say the most pizza I've ever eaten in one sitting, no lie, was probably like half of a pizza. And that's because I used to be an overeating fat kid. You know, I used to always eat too much and go crazy with the food. And sometimes I would eat so much, I would eat half a pizza. Okay? Now, in reality, the most pizza I've ever eaten. Now, this is a story. I don't know if I've ever even told you guys this before. Okay? In the mid-2000s, I was pretty poor. All right? My job that I had wasn't a high-paying job. And I had rent that I was paying. I was sharing an apartment with 2 other people. And basically, to make ends meet, I had to cut corners whenever I possibly could and save money as much as I possibly could. So, in the mid-2000s, Domino's Pizza used to have this deal. All right? And the deal was as follows. The 5-5-5 deal. And what it was is you could get 3 medium pizzas, any toppings, meaning any pizza in their entire, menu, for $5, medium size. And so what I would do is, especially if my roommates weren't around, because this would happen, they would go away for the weekend, they would visit family or friends, and, they wouldn't be around. So I'm here by myself. I'm not gonna cook, right? I don't want to constantly be going out to get food. So what I would do, I would order from Domino's, and I would do their 5-5-5 deal. So I would get, like, a Philly cheesesteak pizza, all right? A all meats pizza, and then I would get like a regular standard pepperoni pizza or something like that. All right. Now, this is absolutely awful. Don't do this. Now that I'm much older, this is like 15 years later. I look back at this time of my life. I'm like, man, I was a fucking complete idiot. But then again, I was a young moron, and I did a lot of stupid stuff back then. To do this to your body is atrociously bad. So this is a disclaimer. Don't do anything like this. In fact, you couldn't do this anyway because they don't have this deal anymore. Okay. But seriously, all right. Don't do this to your body. All right, so I would order this 5-5-5 deal. All right, and then immediately when it showed up, I would eat like half one of the pizzas. Okay, then later on that day, I would eat more pizza. Then the next day, I would wake up in the morning, I'd be hungry, and I'd have pizza. And then later on that day, I'd get hungry again, and I would have pizza. And then the next day I'd have pizza. So I'm not even kidding. Like I would try to convince myself, oh, it's okay because, one's Philly cheesesteak and one's a meats pizza. This is different food I'm eating. No. No. When you eat pizza, that's supposed to be basically, a treat for your body, an exorbitant, fatty, disgusting treat that you have once like a month, right? You can't eat pizza all the time. You will die. You will become overweight. You will have high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Everything about it is bad for you. You can't eat pizza all the time. It's great, don't get me wrong. You can't. But, like, I would do this. Seriously, I would do this sometimes multiple times a month. I'm not even kidding, because think of it, 5-5-5. So for $15, I would feed myself for, like, 3 days of a week. I wouldn't have to have any other food. Just eat the pizza, eat the pizza, eat the pizza. Back then I was way more heavy. Like I said, the heaviest I ever was like 240. I think at this point in my life I was probably around 230 something. It was one of my fattest points of my life. Okay. So yeah, it's not good to do. It's horrible for yourself. Don't ever do that. But that's a true story. That was a mid-2000s, so 15 years ago. PW Dubs tipped another $1 and says, have you ever thought about becoming a pizza delivery driver? No. And I never would. I can't do a lot of driving anyway. Like you guys, I told you guys, the reason I really like it out here in Washington is because all the things I need to do to drive to are really right next to me. I don't need to do a lot of driving. And that's a good thing because, with a person with back problems like I have, even though my back hasn't really bothered me the past couple of years, probably because I don't drive a lot. So if I was driving constantly, I'd probably have back issues. So no, I'm never going to be a pizza delivery driver. Never considered it. Okay. Shout out to Alfred Aponte. Alfred tipped me $3. He says, good. I hope you're good. Say hi to Kat and Jasper. Thank you very much, Alfred, for the $3 tip. So that's another $4 in tips right there. Thank you guys very much for the support. Now what I'd like to do is read off those leaderboards that I told you about earlier. Okay? Top cheerers of the week and top sub gifters of the week. So, last day of the week to get here on the leaderboard for cheering. All right, guys? It's going to reset overnight, and tomorrow it's back to 0. Of course, I won't be here tomorrow. So when I return on Tuesday, we'll be kind of starting from scratch for the week. Okay? But that being said, thank you to the top cheerers of the week. In 10th place, Chunky Jack 301. In 9th place, Mr. Papavera. 8th place, Tomahawk MCX. 7th place, Tom Van Weitzwinkle. I have no idea if I've ever pronounced that guy's name right, by the way. In 6th place, Snake Eater. 5th place goes to Magnus Flamebeard. 4th place, Big Boy Abides. 3rd place, The Lone Warrior. 2nd place, Two Bar King. And in 1st place, top cheerer of the week, with a very ginormously generous cheer last night on the late stream, Ace Best. That was a 10,000-bit cheer last night, by the way. So thank you, Ace Best. I even said that's pretty much the biggest cheer I think I might have gotten all year. I don't think anyone topped a 10,000-bit cheer this year. This is the end of the year, right? So pretty awesome. Thank you very much, Ace Best, for that ginormous cheer. That is much appreciated. Okay, and thanks to everyone who cheered this week. As for people who gifted subs this week, hold on a second here. Thank you to the following sub gifters. Okay? Philly Buckeye gifted a single sub. Thank you for that, Philly. Internet Famous McCroy gifted 4 subscriptions. Thank you, Internet Famous McCroy. Brian Whitaker gifted 5 subscriptions. Thank you very much, Brian. And Tomahawk MCX, 7 subscriptions this month. Thank you very much, Tomahawk. I appreciate that very, very much. Okay. So there you go. Looks like we got one more dollar tip here. And this one's from an anonymous tipper. And they said thin crust, Chicago style, Brooklyn style, Neapolitan. Out of those choices you presented, I would prefer Brooklyn style. I don't know exactly what Neapolitan even is. Neapolitan pizza? I seriously don't even know what that is. Neapolitan, when I hear that, that reminds me of ice cream. When you get that ice cream that's like vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry, that's Neapolitan ice cream. But I don't know what the hell Neapolitan pizza is. So I guess I'm going to go with Brooklyn style, because I'm used to East Coast pizza, which is typically Brooklyn style, but the pizza that I would eat isn't as big as, say, a Brooklyn style pizza. You know, Brooklyn style is usually these ginormous pies. The pieces are so big you have to fold them to eat them. I don't eat pizza that's that big, but it's basically like a smaller version of that. But that's the kind of crust that I like on my pizza. So, there's your answer. Okay. All right, everyone. So, excuse me. I guess that's it for the pre-stream. What we're going to do is end the stream. I'm going to very briefly go use the restroom. And then we're going to jump into Shenmue 3. Like I said, first thing we're going to do, I was in the middle of a gacha game last time where I was trying to get the rare, like, weapon toy out of the stupid vending machine. So we're probably going to do that just to start to finish up, because I already spent a lot of time on it last stream and I ran out of time. So we'll probably try to get that. And then we will head off to the gambling palace. And that's where we're supposed to find the red snakes and we're supposed to advance the plot line. Okay? All right. So, time for a break. And then when we come back, it's time for Shenmue 3. It's a very short break here for a restroom break, and then I shall return. Okay, guys? Thanks, and I'll be right back.